Hey everybody, Wolfie here. Ice cream. Doing a lot of driving today, but it's for a good cause. Guns and stuffing my face, because I kind of forgot to eat today. And ice cream is a perfect diet, right? I've already lost 30 pounds over the last 5 months. So I'm well on my way to being a modestly attractive human being again. The trick will be regaining some of my decent muscle mass and becoming fit instead of fat fit, I guess the word is. Is that the right term? Where you're thin but fat looking? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Got a long road ahead of me to achieve that. But in a kind of confirmation of the fact that I'm actually losing weight, I forgot to regale you with a story from hauling my guns back to the car from the gun show. And I noticed it just now too. My shorts are falling off. My clothes are starting to be too big for me, which feels amazing. I've got slightly smaller shorts that have been kind of relegated to the corner of the closet for, like 2 years because they were too small, and they're starting to fit again. So, kind of excited about that. Random looking bug. Oh, hey, look, that light's green, so it's not gonna. Of course, it just changed. Wait a minute, I don't go straight here, I turn. That was good. That light can turn red. That's a good thing for me, I think. Yeah, take Hall, get over to Wiloma. That'll work. So there was a massive, massive wreck today at a Formula One race in, oh God, I can't remember where it is. It's like the Formula One race. If you look this up, you'll find it, because there was no mistaking this one. I guess a guy driving, one of the Formula One cars, lost control of it, something broke or whatever, and he slammed at full speed into one of the guardrails on the side of the track, and it gave way. And so his car plowed straight through it, and he carried on, and it sliced that car in half. And then, of course, it burst into flames, caught fire, and everybody watching this was like, oh my God, that dude's dead. There's no way. And maybe 10 seconds after the fire started, he dragged his happy ass out of that car and walked away from that accident. Walked away. Now, he had help. There were people holding him, bracing him, so he was limping away. But that just looked lethal. There was no way a human could survive that. And sure enough, he did. And it turns out that he, despite initial reports that he'd broken some things, he had no broken bones and no serious injury except for some burns on his hands. Because, he had to touch hot surfaces to get out of the car. Unbelievable. And, man, the crash was just spectacular. Not in a good way. I mean, it's incredible how nasty it was. I guess they haven't had an accident that bad for something like 20 years. Maybe 25 years. I guess another car burst into flames like that in 95. I forget who the driver was. But, damn, I saw footage of the wreck today, and because a friend of mine on Discord showed it to us. And I was like, God, how could anyone walk away from that? And they had some news reporter there, some British wanker, who was there after the cleanup. He was just there looking around the scene of the accident, and he showed what was left over of the guardrail that the guy went through. And what's got people freaked out is that those guardrails are supposed to be really, really sturdy, and what happened today is not supposed to happen. Like, even if you hit one of those rails at full speed in a Formula One car, it is not supposed to be able to go through it. So the venue operator has some hard questions to answer, and they patched it up by putting a bunch of those big ass concrete blocks in the way to patch up the hole. So we know that part of the guardrail's at least sturdy now. Oh, it's crazy stuff, though. That's one of those sports that, I mean, most sports I can't get into because I'm too fat and lazy and no good at them. But it takes a special kind of brass balls to go be a Formula One racer. That stuff is just so fast. They're flying as fast as some airliners fly. Or let's say driving as fast as some airliners fly. Over 200 miles an hour. A frickin' Airbus 380 can get aloft at, I think, 160 knots. So you can, if a big ass airplane like that can get off the ground at a slower speed than these Formula One cars go, you're talking some massive energy behind all of that. And like today demonstrated, you hit a wall or something goes wrong and it could get ugly fast. So, I got a lot of respect for Formula One racers. It's weird. You expect to see that kind of crash at a NASCAR event, because that's, it's the worst kept secret in the world is people go to see NASCAR, not because it's, exciting to watch cars drive in circles all day. It's exciting because there's a chance of a wreck. And, NASCAR, they've got some pretty specialized vehicles too. But, wrecks are sort of, kind of part of the sport as far as NASCAR goes. You don't really expect blowouts like that with Formula One. They just have a different approach to the design of the cars and the safety systems they have. And it's a different style of racing too. There's less tendency for the cars to bump each other, and that's about the limit of my knowledge. But they're very different kinds of racing, and for whatever reason, NASCAR just seems to lend itself more towards the occasional accident. But so it's weird to see an accident like this go off on a Formula One race. Made it more exciting though, and what really made me feel better about it, what really kind of warmed my cold dead heart, was the fact that I saw an interview. I mean, this only happened like 2 hours prior to when I saw this, so there's really, really fast coverage of this, and they were interviewing other drivers who were competitors in that race, and they interviewed, I think, 4 different people, and not one of them said, not one of them started their response or their opinion on the wreck without saying, I mean, they all started off the same way, and they said, the important thing is he got out and he's still alive. When we heard there was a wreck, or when I saw it in the rearview mirror, I was scared to death that he died. And the first thing I radioed my pit crew about it. I asked, you guys have to find out what happened to him. Let me know. It's just really good sportsmanship. They all cared about the driver. They didn't care about the race. I mean, they do care about the race, of course. But that all takes, a back seat. Their main concern was one of their fellow drivers just had a nasty wreck, and, is he okay? And that kind of sportsmanship I really respect. That there is not enough of that kind of camaraderie in the world, and it's really, really good to see that. Consummate professionals, and really make me happy. Warms my heart. Sorry I didn't stream. I spent a couple hours talking to my folks instead. It's been a few weeks since I talked to them. Well, a couple weeks since I talked to them. And I had to tell them about my exciting weekend of demolition derby and trailer races and skid races, and then buying almost $3,000 worth of guns. I kind of can't believe I did that. I, my dad laughed. I mean, he said, good call. When I told him about the revolver, of course, he approved. He said, oh, that's a good gun. You picked a good pick. And then I told him about the shotgun. I looked up the make. It's a brand I still can't remember. It starts with a G. But I looked it up, and it seems to be a good shotgun, so that's why I got it. And when I told him about the handmade, custom-built AR-15, he just laughed. He's like, have you ever even fired a gun like that? I go, yeah, you had me shoot a rifle, when I was out there a few years ago. He said, are you sure? Is that thing a full auto? Like, no, it's a semi-automatic. It's like, oh, okay, that's better. I guess he said that the big mistake a lot of people make, you used to be able to buy a fully automatic rifle or weapon in general without going through the bullshit tax stamp and a year waiting period. It's so stupid now, but back then he said what a lot of people would do is they'd run out and buy themselves a fancy new fully automatic weapon, and they would happily go to the gun range and they'd slap a magazine in there and load the first round, stick it on full auto, and pull the trigger and hold it. And I guess bad things happen. He described it as nothing good comes from that. So if you've never fired a fully automatic weapon before, I guess you're not prepared for it. It kind of has a tendency to take off on you, I guess, because you're expecting, pew, but the recoil just keeps kicking, and so he said people tend to lose control of the gun, and bad things follow, and I believe it. But no, this thing is just a semi-automatic. He still thinks, I mean, obviously I can handle the kick because I've fired, I'm pretty sure I've fired 5.56 before. And I shot his 45, so it's not bad. But he kind of gave the impression that I'm possibly hitting above my weight class with a fucking AR-15, but he said it sounds like a good gun, so it will at least serve me for many years. And, hopefully I'll grow into it as my skill level goes up. I hope so. It's a really fancy looking gun. I'm going to get some pictures taken probably, I want to say tonight, but I'm really tired and lazy, and I'm getting ice cream. So it'll be tomorrow probably. But yeah, I'll take some pictures of the new firearms and show them off a bit. Oh, nice. They've got Miss Leggy out there doing the... I'm such a pig. It's a long line, so they've got a woman out with a little iPad type of thing, and she's taking orders. And she's got a very nice body, and always wears the most delightful outfits. Short shorts, so you can see the bottom of her ass, and nice, tight top, like a sports bra type thing. Always makes me melt. That problem I described earlier, well, that's still there. I'm going to talk male gaze. Well, there you go. Oh, God, those are gorgeous legs. Terrible. Oh, man. So, yeah, it's been a busy weekend. Lots of fun and entertainment and cool guns and all sorts of good shit. I'm gonna send my parents some ammunition so that when we go shooting, when I get out there, we won't run out. I feel kind of crappy. My dad wants to take me shooting when I go visit, but I don't want to burn through all his ammo. That's kind of a dick move. Oh, come here, hot pants. Awful. Oh, if I had any social media presence, I'd be getting canceled by feminists. Which is really the most entertaining way to be canceled. If you're going to go, you may as well go with a bang. Oh, she's going back inside. Fuck. I wanted to visit Hot Pants. God damn it. Fuck this gay earth. That is some bullshit. It's like she heard me or something. She actually did give me a funny look. I'm kidding. This car is pretty soundproof. I wasn't talking that loud anyway. At least the line's moving. Oh, good. She's coming back out. Yay. Hot pants for Wilfie. Hello.
Have you been here before?
Huh?
Okay, great. Welcome back. What can I get for you?
I get a quart-sized gelati, just vanilla and orange.
Okay. Anything else for you?
That's it.
Alright. They're going to go ahead and finish helping you at the window, okay?
Perfect, thanks.
Have a nice night.
See, I can be well behaved. Ting. Oh, I'm just so goddamn happy lately. I don't want to jinx it, but I can't help. I can't contain it. I just feel really good. I'm stumbling over words more because I'm just excited. Lots of things are exciting me. New job, new guns, trip to my folks, visiting a friend, maybe turning friend into more. That'll be nice. Whatever. It's those, I guess, early romance flutters you get in your stomach or something like that. I'm probably jumping to conclusions. But I don't know, man. You can't. There are limits to how much a person can flirt and not be serious. And some things that have been said over the phone, too, that are very encouraging. I don't know why I'm so fixated on that either. It's going to be a while before I even go out to visit. And there's lots of other cool stuff going on in life, too. And it all just adds up to just happiness. And look at me, I'm grinning. How often does that happen? I feel like the last 5 or 6 years of my life I've spent kind of just, fake smile, that sort of thing. But I'm genuinely happy. Maybe it's just the ice cream that's got me all jazzed up and happy. I feel like there is something else, yet again, going on that I've forgotten. It's, I ordered a bunch more of those NFC tags for Amiibo emulation on the Switch. And I have now recorded, since I got a bunch more coming, they're like $7 for 20. So it's a no-brainer. They're like, 80 cents each at that price? So I've got a bunch of those coming, and I've got a total of 20 now. And so I took a few, 15 minutes today, and I cooked all of the Fire Emblem characters into one per tag. And they're not rewritable, so one shot and you're done. But I got that done. So next time I crank up Fire Emblem, I'll be able to add all of the missing music tracks, or extra music tracks, to the game. That's what scanning those accomplishes. So look forward to that. I finally hit the halfway point in that game. And I called it, actually. I remember saying early on, oh, Edelgard seems weird. There's something funky going on with her. I don't trust her. I'm not going to recruit her. And sure enough, she turned out to be the bad guy. I like feeling smart. I only get to do it like once or twice a year, so I gotta relish those feelings when they come. Oh, I am so stiff and sore from carrying those guns. I'm so out of shape. That's just pathetic. But I guess with my weight loss, I'm gonna have to look into buying some new clothes again. Well, I had clothes that fit when I was in my 300 310s, so I should be okay for a while. But if this carries on, this is weird. I'm gonna be able to buy clothes in regular person stores now. So I had to shop at big and tall stores. And shorts get expensive. Everything gets expensive as you get bigger. Clothing, anyway, because it takes more fabric to build a containment unit for your fat ass. Car says hello. Man, I'm still over half a tank. I think I've only filled up once since July. I mean, if you have a fuel-efficient car, it's awesome. But if you don't drive it at all, that's very efficient. Get infinite miles per gallon if you're not moving. I mean, if you're not going anywhere. Did I talk about the... Well, I'm going to talk about it again, because I don't remember if I've ever mentioned this on a vlog. I'm doing a lot of these lately. But for my upcoming trip out to Vegas, I'm flying on Spirit Airlines. And I did talk about this on the way to the gun show. Yeah, because I made a joke that they nickel and dime you, but they only charge nickels because they're cheap. Yeah, okay, well, that's not so interesting anymore. Don't want to get repetitious. Oh yeah, there's an Aldi right there. Aldi is a weird grocery store. They're really, really cheap. They don't give you bags. They sell bags, or they make you pay for each bag, and they encourage you to use reusable bags for your grocery shopping. You have to put a quarter. Oh, excuse me. You have to put a quarter into a shopping cart if you want to use it. They're all locked, and you unlock one by putting a quarter in it. You get the quarter back when you return the cart, and they do that so they don't have to have a cart collector. So they don't have to spend time going out and rounding up all the carts in the parking lot. So for some reason, people really want their quarters back. And they sell lots of just knockoff brands and that sort of thing. But, for a lot of things, the so-called generic or store brand stuff is really just as good as the name brand. Like, especially snacks and crackers. There's really no difference. Like Club Crackers, a Keebler official brand Club Crackers, versus whatever generic crap you can get at Aldi or Walmart. That stuff all tastes the same. And it's something like 50% cheaper. I don't remember why I stopped shopping there. I think I just got, lazy, probably. Oh, no, I know why I stopped. Because somebody else that lived with me at the time did not like. She was a snob about Aldi and stuff like that. I don't know why I keep talking about her. Pain in the ass. That's about the only thing that puts me in a bad mood anymore. Oh God, I was looking at my CCL today at the gun show because they have to inspect your concealed carry license to make sure it's valid, and driver's license too for whatever reason. And the picture, my photo, is so horrible on the CCL. I'll explain why in a minute.
Hi, do you have a quart of orange mash?
Yeah.
All right, this is $7.41. Thank you.
Who is that? That's not Phil Collins. That's Thank you.
She'll be right back with your card, okay?
Okay. It's not Phil Collins. Paul Simon. It's Paul Simon singing. The weirdest song he ever did.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too. I think that song was, "If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal." Ice cream acquired. Yeah, so the day that I had my concealed carry license photo taken was the very same day that Nicole told me that she wants an extra $10K for the house, and if I didn't like it, I could get a lawyer and go fuck myself. Well, I went and fucked myself, and I got a good lawyer. And she was not happy about that. That gave me great joy. But, because she had, looking at the paperwork that, she had to produce all of her banking records and stuff for the, to the court, and for me to review. And, you know, she's squirreled away some money, so I'm going to claw some of that back. But, as it turned out, after she got served the divorce papers in August, see, she would have had her money in August if she hadn't been a dick. But she had to get greedy, so instead of her money, she got a lawsuit. And a couple days after she got served, she emailed me and asked, what is the purpose of filing this? What do you want? Do you want to just go back to the deal we had before, or blah, blah, blah? And I was just like, I was polite. But my response was, you know, I talked to my lawyer first, and my answer was just, fuck off. We'll just do this in mediation. Go to hell. And as it turns out, she paid. She forked over money. Of course, she got a lawyer too, and she paid for that lawyer and retained that attorney a day before she sent me that email asking what I wanted. So even that was just. You know, she was being scummy, doing what her lawyer said. So she wasn't being honest. She wasn't trying to avoid hiring a lawyer. She just wanted to see how much she could bait me into giving up before mediation. So, fuck that. But yeah, she didn't really like shopping at Aldi. I think it's because she's kind of a snob. Some people get really, I don't know, they care too much about their self-image. Oh, I don't want to look cheap, and you shop at Aldi and you're a cheap ass. Well, no, maybe you have a limited budget. Or maybe you're just smart enough to not want to spend a shitload of money you don't have to when the name brand doesn't matter. But, you know, she's one of those, so whatever. Not quite a full moon, but close. You know, that is something. That's a whole different subject I can talk about. Just looking up at that gray and white ball floating in the sky. Luna, our single moon in orbit around the Earth. 50 years ago, well, about 55, 60 years ago, America collectively decided in its arrogance that, God damn it, we're going to go fly up there, we're going to land on it, we're going to pick up some fucking moon rocks, we're going to play goddamn golf on the moon, and we're going to come back to, we're going to live to come back and tell the tale. Because that's how awesome America is, and fuck you if you don't agree with us. And then we went and did it. Because that's just how awesome we are. Or were. And so, you know, the Apollo program took like 10 years, I think, to develop it. We actually made our deadline. We landed on the moon sometime in December of 1969, I think. I remember seeing footage of Walter Cronkite covering that live, and the dude just, you know, one of the most stoic newscasters of a generation who never lost his cool or never lost his composure. He's just sitting there and now, you know, narrating this live video feed of what's going on, and he just fucking, he's like got his hand in He's facing his hands, taking off his glasses, shaking his head like, I can't believe this shit I'm seeing. This is incredible. Humanity had never done anything like this before, and haven't done it since. We actually haven't been back to the moon. And the part that really fucking sucks, we can't. We do not have a manned spaceflight program right now with the capacity to take astronauts to the moon, land on it, keep them alive for a couple days, launch from it, and return back to Earth. But we have women displaying nudity on OnlyFans.com and getting paid tens of thousands of dollars a month. That's the kind of shit we can do now. 50 years ago, we flew to the moon. Now we just jerk each other off. We've made some pretty good, electronic technological innovations. Computers are much faster now than they were back then. And the barrier to entry is much lower. I mean, an idiot like me can make six figures working with computers now. They would have laughed me out of the application, out of the front office at NASA if I had been around in the 50s and tried to get in as an engineer. You actually had to know how to work a slide rule in those days. And, be good at math. And those are two things I'm not good at. I don't know. It just feels like we've lost we've lost something. We don't seem to have that pioneering spirit anymore. We're still making some cool things, but we mostly just use it to yell at each other or do things faster. Kind of bums me out. I don't really know what to do about it either. Not sure if it can be done. I mean, there are comparisons lately to the fall of Rome, where there was lots of decadence and debauchery towards the end of the Roman Empire. And there are people kind of wondering aloud whether America has reached that point and we're just sort of circling the drain and having as much fun as we can on the way down. One scary thing I heard, and now my parents said this, and then also a few people at the gun show today told me this, that the Democrats have finally figured out that they can't directly stop gun sales and screw with people for buying guns, but they think that they're being clever and trying to stop or hamper the production and sale of ammunition. And I'm pretty sure that's going to run afoul of the same kind of constitutional stuff that gun bans get hit by. But they're going to try it anyway, because they're cocksuckers. And so that kind of explains why ammunition is so hard to find now. Because I dug into that a bit. It seemed a bit strange. I know people are panic buying, and that's part of it, but there's got to be something driving it. And, if Biden takes the White House, then one of the first things he promised to do was go grab guns. So I wouldn't put it past him to start fucking with ammo supply. And it's like the government itself is building up a surplus because it's expecting the citizenry to kind of get pissed off and push back. That kind of worries me. Who knows what'll happen. At least I've got some guns and ammo now, so I can hold my own when the shit hits the fan. Oh, man. I think I'll upload this vlog here and spend the rest of the evening relaxing and calming down a bit, or unwinding from a weekend's worth of lots of fun. God, I got so much done this weekend. I live streamed for 2 days. I went to a neat car race type of thing, demolition derby, and went to a gun show and bought some guns. And yeah, lots of productivity, lots of fun, lots of videos. All in all, a good weekend. No complaints. Except my back hurts. Carrying all those guns back to my car. How often do you see a fat guy hauling a bunch of guns and loading it in the back of a fucking Prius? That raised some eyebrows at the gun show. Somebody even commented. It was great. Like, dude, you just made my day. Like, okay, why? Because I got to see a guy loading a bunch of guns into the back of a Prius. So that's pretty much the opposite of redneck. But yeah, cracked me up. My dad said that I lost all redneck credentials by, the whole Prius thing. But whatever, it's a good car, and I love the hell out of it, and it brought those guns home just fine. That's it for me for the night, folks. Have a good evening, and I will catch you next time.